Hi everyone, Chef Leroy here, and I am in the kitchen. And I got a little cooking project, but I want to talk to you first about, I'm recording you on my iPhone, but I'm also using my Osmo Mobile 6 gimbal. This thing is pretty cool. Now watch this. That's called Action Track. So it can track me around. Cool feature, right? Anyway, that's not what the video is completely about. I'm actually going to make some taco beef, okay? And I got a second purpose for it. I'm actually going to use it for a breakfast scramble as well. Now, of course, you can use it for tacos or a taco salad or however you want to eat it. But I'm going to actually incorporate some of this into a breakfast scramble. All right, now we have to show you what the ingredients are, so let's get that. All right, well, one thing I'll tell you already about the gimbal itself, you can't really do overhead shots as well with this. It will only go about this far as a tilt forward. So that's one thing. It's not a game changer by any means, but anyway. So on the board here, I'll show you what I have. I've got some sweet bell pepper, green pepper, diced onion, tomato, I got garlic. This is my ground beef I've got. This is 30 or 93% lean ground beef. I like to use leaner stuff, so I don't need to use any oil for the most part, especially using a nonstick. And then I've got my seasoning in here. So what's in this one here? I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, got 1 teaspoon chili powder, 1 teaspoon cumin, and I got 1 teaspoon of fajita seasoning, which is a product that I actually got given to me by a food vendor, but they have it in the store. And the reason I'm using that is it's got that good flavor to it, but it's also got salt in it, so I don't have to add any other salt. So now the quantities here, this is a half of a pepper, half of a pepper, half of a yellow onion, 1 large Roma tomato, and I've got 4 cloves of garlic, which I've diced up pretty good, okay? And again, this is 1 pound of ground beef. All right, let's get it going in the pan. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to saute that ground beef, and then we're going to add the vegetables and the seasoning, and it's pretty much the process as we speak. Okay, I decided to use my Hexclad pan, which I haven't used for a bit. I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of pan spray in this one. Do you have to? I don't know. Probably not, but I'm using a pretty extra lean meat here, so pan's already preheated. And what I like to do is use a whisk to break up the meat, because you want the taco meat to be nice small pieces. Now, if you get too much excess oil, you might want to drain it. But again, this is 93% lean. So, okay, we're just going to brown this up, and then we'll add all the vegetables to it. Okay, the ground beef is looking nice. And what you want to do, that's why I use a whisk. It helps break the meat down, smaller bits, pieces. You don't have to get it completely browned up either, because we've got to cook the vegetables with this too. Okay, we're going to add that vegetable. Okay, get everything in the pan. All right, now you're going to use a spoon and mix it in. Okay. So now we're going to saute the vegetables into the meat until the onions become clear and the peppers are basically soft. And then we're going to add that seasoning to it. And that's when we're going to adjust anything that we might need to adjust. I don't know if that's enough seasoning for this amount of product, but that's when we'll check and see. And again, I've got this basically in about a medium heat. I didn't even have the pan that hot. You could cook it quite a bit quicker. But I will say that if you have that pan up too high, you're going to end up with bigger chunks of beef. So my opinion is to keep the pan a little lower temperature and slow cook that ground beef so you can break it up a little bit smaller. All right, we're gonna let it cook. All right, I'm back at the pan, and one thing that I'll tell you is that if you wanted to cook your vegetables a lot quicker, you could cover the pan. I choose not to, because the vegetables release their own liquid, right? Plus the meat had liquid in it. So I don't want this to be too watery either as a taco meat. There's a lot of juice in the bottom of the pan, as I can see. So I kind of choose to not do that. But what I will do is I will kick up the heat just a little bit more to about a medium high. And that'll get that vegetables cooked up a little bit quicker. So again, without the cover on it, you get that evaporation. So the liquid that you have in there will evaporate out. So then your meat is a little bit on the drier side, but you probably would like to do that if you were making it with tacos, because last thing you want is like really wet meat when you're making a taco. All right, let's let her cook. Okay, I'm back at the pan and it is looking fantastic. You can see the onions are now cooked down and they're a little bit more on the clear side. And there's not as much moisture in the pan, which is great. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to add that seasoning. You can adjust this too. I had used a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. It does make this quite a bit more spicy, especially because you're using chili powder. Go ahead and stir that in. Actually, what I'm gonna do is turn my pan down to low temp, stir that in really well, and then we gotta give it a taste to see how the flavors are. If you don't have enough of something, we can add it, right? All right, so we're gonna give it a taste. Good. I think what I'm gonna do though, is I'm gonna add a little bit more cumin to it. Add a teaspoon of cumin. So I'm gonna do another 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. Cumin is that really great flavor that you get when you have taco meat. It's that cumin taste is so good. Stir that in. So I'm gonna end up with a whole 2 teaspoons of cumin to get that flavor. I think I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more of the fajita seasoning. I have a suspicion that this has MSG in it, but I don't know for sure. It doesn't have any label on the bottle, but it has a similar interesting flavor. But this is the cover here. It's a Farmer Brothers product. All right, give it a stir. This is a pretty quick and easy dish. Give it a taste. That's good. Okay, add a little bit more of the fajita seasoning, because again, like I said, this has a salt in it. So that'll be 2 teaspoons then. The fajita, 2 teaspoons of cumin, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne. It does have a nice little bite to it too. It's great. And some little bit of heat to it. Give it one more little taste here. That's good. All right, that's it, guys. What I'll do is I'll show you what the completed dish looks like when I actually do this with my breakfast scramble. So you'll see what everything looks like in a photo or on video. But anyway, that's what I have for you today. So here you go, nice skillet, 1 skillet taco meal right here. And hopefully you guys liked the video. If you did, hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Subscriptions let you know when I drop a video out there. Otherwise, you guys have a fantastic day. Chef Leroy, and out. Okay, my breakfast scramble has started. So this is gonna be with the taco meat that I made. And we are gonna finish it with a little bit of diced zucchini. I've got 6 eggs, which I have to scramble still. And because I already have all the nice seasoning in my meat, I shouldn't have to really season this at all. And then you can top it with some of your favorite cheese if you like. It's looking good, guys. And all I have in this pan is just a little bit of pan spray. It's not too much oil at all. Just cover that up again. All right, we're back at the pan here. It looks really good. I'm gonna go ahead and add my taco meat to that. Okay, I just added some of the taco meat that I cooked off. So I got about 2 cups of taco meat in here. I would say that recipe probably yielded about 4 cups of taco meat total. All right, we're just gonna let this heat up and we'll get our eggs in there and that'll be pretty much a wrap on the meal for the most part. All right, I'm back at the pan here. You can see it's nice and hot. Let's go ahead and add those eggs. Mix it in there a little bit. Again, that was 6 eggs scrambled. Go ahead and add your cheese to the top. All right, there you go. Let's just go ahead and put that cover back on top and let her cook. Again, remember with the Hexaclad pan, this is your vent up here. You want to keep that vent away from your arm because you can get a steam burn from it. So, all right, I'll show you what it looks like when it's done.